Okay, so hopefully you can hear. Whoa. Okay. And we will just do a little bit of explanation here. Well, we're waiting for anybody to find out that I am on. Because who knows who's getting this or not. But even if you miss it, don't worry, we'll keep it in the archives. So there was some things I was talking about with our own sweet Gemini, who is a dear sister of mine, as far as whew, we're on the same page so often. Almost always, as a matter of fact, I can't remember a time we weren't on the same page about most stuff. She's picking up the same kind of stuff that I do. And it's cool because I try not to bring anything out until I'm fairly sure that I'm right about it. And I talk it over a little bit with people. Does this sound crazy? And usually, if a few of my friends are going, yeah, I'm picking up the same thing, it's like, then, okay, that's probably what really is happening then. Because it creates a vibration in the universe. And so many times, it's not just one of us picking this up. We all start picking up the same basic stuff from the ether, so to speak, and from our guides and whatever. And when that happens, something really is going on. And I wanted to talk about the state of the matrix. We were talking about AI and how AI keeps coming up, you know, uh, and how odd it is that certain things come up at certain times. Somebody has proposed that maybe one of the reasons to cause so much disruption and as people walk off their jobs and stuff, and especially if police walk off their jobs, that would be an excuse to bring in robocops and so on. Hi, Pam. How you doing? Thank you. Yeah. Um, so we'll be looking at that a little bit tonight, and we'll be looking at my art. I have been having this thing for mussels, and so I've been. I can get a pack of mussels at Aldi's for like $3, enough for lunch. Well, thank you, Pam. And 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 so it makes all these extra shells, and I'm thinking to myself, well, it's a shame to just dump these, you know, because they're kind of neat. So I ran them through the dishwasher a couple times to make sure they're really clean because they had garlic oil on them. Some of them are kind of scary for Halloween. It's one of my favorites. Some of them, you see, we have a little spirit on there, and some of them are have other significance. This is kind of like a peacock feather, and some of them have this tribal-looking stuff, which is really inspired by Minoan art. I was watching a video on Minoan art. Oh yeah, I love mussels. I just lately I've been wanting a lot of seafood. I don't know why. This one. And then these, and I'm not sure, they kind of look like a tree or a maybe a budding tree branch or something. Weird. But it's really relaxing to make these. I love making these. Yeah, sort of a wet looking thing. Um, this kind here is inspired by Minoan artwork. Minoan pottery looks a lot like this. Their designs, and really, according to my Mayan teacher that I had, descended from Mayans, this symbol right here can also mean a stargate. So, and so the Christmas star that we see is actually a stargate. How about them apples? That's something you probably don't hear. Oh, the audio is buffering. Yep. Well, they can all be ordered. They're pretty light, and yeah, I like I like the little squid ones too. I made several of those, but I've just got examples here of everything. I've really knocked a lot of these out. I've been working at them. There's a spider web, silver spider web. Oh, I sound better again. Good. I can't do very much on this end to change what it looks like. Oh, here I found a different one, a spider in a web. Spider in a web for Halloween, and an owl. And yeah, I've been meaning to come on every night, and I've been falling asleep. And it's like this, I try like ever to not do it, but if I rest at all, well, I had a robot voice for a while. Oh, and I was talking about AI. How Gemini and I were talking about AI. And when all these people go off the job, are they going to use this as an excuse to bring in AI, the robots? Somebody proposed that. Well, I guess it's not impossible. But anyway, that's one thing we might discuss. Hi, Brandy. Yeah, I'm making these shells now. I can make them into necklaces, or I can make them into actually whatever you want, pretty much. Fridge magnets, I think they'd be nice. Let me know what you think they'd be nice. Tree ornaments. I'm thinking of making them tree ornaments or just ornaments in general. I can make them into fridge magnets. I can make them into jewelry. Yeah. Oh, hi, Lewis. Yeah. The muscle art. It's done with these special markers that I have, paint markers that are acrylic paint markers. They're special markers. They're like Sharpie markers, but they're acrylic paint instead. So you have to work with them a certain way so they don't dry out. You got to make sure you put the lids and everything back on, but they're really nice to work with. And I decided to try it out on the shells. I think it turned out really well. I mean, I don't know why, but this is beautiful to me. I want to make a bunch of these. I would make a whole necklace made out. Come on, let's see if we can get it to focus. I almost want a whole necklace made of something like this. This is, to me, just Something about the pattern. Anyway, yeah. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Brandy and Pam are here so far. And let's hope some other people see it. Oh, yes. Well, I'm trying to get ready for, there is a particular art venue called Oddmall that I'm making stuff particularly for, and their symbol is a blue eyeball. And so that's their, logo is a blue oddmall eyeball. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it did me too. That's why I did this one. So it kind of reminded me of peacock feathers or parrot feathers or something. Yeah. So I don't know what to charge for them. I have no idea. If you have an idea what I could maybe charge for these. The worst part for me is trying to figure out what to charge for anything I make. If I charge by the hour, that's not going to work because it's all labor intensive. If I make something unique, then I'm not going to be able to charge it by what anybody else is doing. So I don't know what to charge for these. Into rope necklaces. Rope necklaces. Oh, yeah. $10 for a start. Oh, really? Each? Wow. Well, thank you, Lewis. Wow. I was selling myself short. I was thinking maybe $5. But they're all little miniature paintings. You would start at 20? Really, Pam? Wow, cool. Well, definitely some of them took more work than others. And the squid one that you like, that took a little while. Yeah, you have to be patient with them because it's a really slippery surface and you're dealing with it's kind of a weird medium. But then again, that's perfect for me, and that's also perfect for this venue because their building, what they've named their building, the gallery that these are going in. Um, they're calling it. This. They took over an old church building. Yeah, they took over an old church building, and they're calling it the Assembly of Odd. So they got a sense of humor, and when you go in there, all kinds of very unusual art, and I really recommend it. And they do have an online store too, which I'm hoping to add my stuff to and consignment. So basically, I'm going to consign stuff with him, and the idea is that's a new avenue of making a couple of bucks, which is good because I've had so much stuff come up. Auction it. Wow, you guys have a lot of faith in me. I'm really thankful you're here because I don't know why I never have that much faith in myself. But, oh, here's another thing. I'm working on these fairy gems, or cosmic gems, or whatever you want to call them. So I'm using the paint markers for those too, and they're um, glass cabochons and their art. Let me see if I have some. Yeah, some you can't see as well, and some you can see better. This one. Mm. Some of them are hard to see on the camera. So I've been making a lot of eyes for the venue. Because that's their mascot, sort of. You can't see this one very well. Oh, it's not really done. I haven't hardly done anything on it yet. Anyway, yeah. And then I've done some bigger stuff. Let me show you. And I found, now this is really cool. Although I don't see where I put it. Okay. I've been doing some drawings. See if I can get good lighting on this. There, can you see that pretty well? I think you can probably see that pretty well. So I'm doing paranormal art. This is my paranormal art. This is from when my black cat brought me a snake, a live one, and that was a while back. I've been doing a lot of aliens. And where did that go? Doggone it all. And I thought I had it. I was going to show you, I was going to give you a sneak peek of what's going to be in, I'm trying to decide, am I going to call it the cryptid coloring book or am I going to call it the conspiracy coloring book? Or am I going to call it the cryptid conspiracy coloring book? Because I had made these drawings and thought, wow, these would be a good coloring book, adult coloring book type thing. Use them as a pendant on. Excuse me. I hope I didn't. The cat's looking at me like, Mom? I'm sneezing. I'm breathing. He has got the fuzziest fur. His under fur is so woolly. And when it gets up your nose, it really tickles. Man, does it tickle. Use them as a pendant on a nice rope tie knots and clasp. Okay, yeah, I need to put some kind of a thing on the back. I was thinking of that too. I was thinking fridge magnets, ornaments for a tree. Hi, Gemini. Well, thank you. Yeah, I want to show you those. I want to show you. Oh, the eyes would be cool on a natural walking stick, like a walking stick. Well, we were thinking of going out into the woods and getting some stormwood that's fallen down. Yeah, and I was thinking Christmas ornaments. Um, and actually, I was also thinking hair sticks. And I don't know, people have been asking for cat toys. I don't know if these make good cat toys. I'm working on something else for cat toys, for pet products. If you've got any ideas what I might be able to do for a pet product, let me know, because I guess they've had a lot of people asking for, themed pet products. So I'm certainly capable of doing something like that, I'm sure. I'm thinking um, maybe some kind of little 3D fabric art type thing or something. Some little stuffed toys, you know, on a string, it has to be on elastic. My cat loves elastic toys on elastic, because he can pull them back and let them go and they just fly all over the place, and he loves that. Throttling. I'm in the country. Give it a fictional name so you won't have any problems like Micah Dank. He has books showing how the Bible is mostly code for astrological times and seasons. Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, the muscles could be used for smudging. Yeah, they could be. Mhm. Throttling. I'm in the country. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I figured that out a long time ago. I've seen Micah Dank, by the way. Oh, wasn't he on? Yeah, he was on Leak, wasn't he? He's been on Leak a couple times, I think, a few times. Um, yeah, see, that's just it. People don't understand that a lot of what's in the Bible, they're not seeing it from the right perspective. It's not strictly allegorical, and it's not strictly history, and it's not strictly. You have to think about how people thought back at that time, and it was quite different from how we think now. So you're going to put a protective layer of resin. Not resin. I am going to put a protective layer of clear coat on them. They're going to get a layer of clear coat, which is what you put over this stuff. Whoa. I still got kitty fluff up my nose. He is a fluffy little guy when I brush him out. I tell you, my cat his fur is so fluffy underneath his undercoat. It really is woolly like a sheep, and you can tell he's a cold weather kitty. Um, fictional. Give what a fictional name like Micah Dank? What, Brandy? I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me here. It sounds like it might be about the the coloring book or something I'm doing. I'm not sure exactly which thing you're referring to as far as. Oh, I think the chat is sticking again, because the last thing I'm seeing is Lewis talking about resin. Dip scoops. Dip scoops. Clear coat them. Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm going to clear coat them. Small wooden bowls. Hmm. Sets of 4 for dip scoops. Small wooden bowls. Dips. What you mean, like for chip dip or something? Yeah, that's another possibility. They are somewhat fireproof because they're shells. They're not entirely fireproof, but they will hold some uh, heat without burning. They won't burn. Um, yeah, it'll be a layer of clear coat and some probably. I'm gonna probably do some stuff with Mod Podge too, and see what kind of things I can print and put on them. But now the interesting thing about these shells, and that I'd never realized until I got them really clean, and I don't think you can really see them. You can't see it too well. No, it doesn't show it very well. But you know how oil takes on these different colors when it's spilled on the ground and it's kind of diluted and the light shines on it and it ends up with a rainbow in it? That's kind of what these shells look like at certain angles of light. You can see kind of a rainbow in them too. I never thought of that. You can't really see it. You just can't see it on camera. But they have, it's kind of subtle, but something about the way that the little lines go gives it a kind of a prismatic effect, at least to my eyes. Or maybe I'm seeing that psychically. No, if I turn it just right in the light, I see definitely rainbows in these shells. Wow, it's really pretty. I don't know how to show you it. It just isn't going to show up on the camera, I don't think. But yeah, they're. But anyway, they fascinated me, so I had to make art. Art circles, wind chimes. That's true. Wind home. Oh yeah, my coloring book. Uh-huh. Yep. Probably publish it under Ocean or something, but art circles. As to the title. And wind chimes, yeah, they would kind of clack nicely in the wind. That's true. And I think they look nice on a tree. I might put sparkles on some of them, but they're already metallic. I'm already doing this in mostly metallic ink. Well, not ink, paint. And even the paint that isn't metallic, the shells kind of make it look metallic because it's so shiny. So I'm really happy with the way they're turning out, though. Oh, I see what you mean. Like, wait a minute. You're talking like putting them together somehow. Hmm. Or with a bowl. Really to scoop dip with. Interesting. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I suppose I could do that too. Yeah, it would be interesting to have a piece of art made like they make things out of sections and have them all made with shells. Have it made with shells. Their art charge 40 a set or with a bowl. Well, thank you, Brandy. Well, like I said, if there's any particular subject, and you know me, be it Bigfoot or aliens, or I should probably make some with flying saucers. Uh, I should make some with big feet and flying saucers and maybe a dog man or two. Um, I also have, oh, now I'm going to do something kind of that I hope is not boring. Show you my pictures. Now that I've got you captive. This is one of the pictures that's going to be in the coloring book. It was the first one I ever did, and I don't do art that looks like this normally. But can you tell what this is supposed to be? I just want to ask you, who is this, if you can tell? Because I had somebody ask me. Yeah, Edward Scissorhands. Yep, Lewis got it. Yep, Edward Scissorhands. Well, I that was the first one I drew, and I didn't even know I could do that because that is not my that wasn't the kind of art I was doing at the time. But somebody just said, well, could you do that? And this is what I came up with. Well, then that started me down a line of doing a whole lot of more things like this. And this is what the kind of thing is going to be, only even more to it than this. This has no background, but the ones that I'm going to put in have a background. And you'll see. So should I call it the conspiracy coloring book or the cryptid coloring book or something else? I was going to call it the spooky coloring book, but I think that's kind of, I don't know. Remember the money trees, iridescent shells? You could put them on a branch in a pot and have an art tree. Oh, an art tree. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I could attach them to branches so that it would be, yeah, I could do that. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, Lewis said Johnny Depp, and you said Edward Scissorhands, so actually Drake was the first one to come in with the exact name. Okay, love you, Brandy. Thank you for stopping in. I knew I didn't have quite everybody in here that need to be in here yet. I'm so glad you showed up. Yep. So then I also did this one. It's a Halloween based, of course. It's a spooky one. You'll never believe what this actually is when I tell you what this is actually a picture of and what I made this from. This is another one I did with the eyeball theme. And this is a picture of Cowboy and his cow spots. He has one that sometimes is in the shape of a heart. And I have to tell you, his spots are really freaky. They change. They change shape. Here's another. That's another one of that. Here's one I did. This is also photo manipulate. This is photo manipulation, but it is my view of a 5D landscape. And these photos, they're on, I had prints made. I took pictures of them and had prints made. So you can actually order these as a picture to put in a frame if you want. Hey! So, yeah, that's my, because somebody was saying, you know what, we really need to think in our heads what 5D, what our version of 5D is going to look like. And to me, this beautiful landscape you probably can't see it, but there's a little kitty sitting there. There's birds in the trees, and there's a dragon in the background and a full moon. But yeah, so then this is another piece of art. Let's see. This is just a picture of the trees. As I don't know why I even. Okay, here's another piece of this spooky Halloween art. I made several of them. Now, this one shows you what it really is. It is a picture of my wise ass cat. He has an owl on his butt. He has an owl-shaped marking on his butt. And this is him eating at his bowl. And so I put eyes and a beak on it and branches around it. And it came out looking like this. See? Yeah, and I call this my wise ass cat. I'm sorry. I know I'm laughing at my, but you know, oh, if only he knew what I was doing to him behind his back. Oh, here. I don't know if some of you remember, I used to have this little mask that I wore that tripped people out. I gotta find this mask. This is the yeah, it's lizard guy. This is a beautiful piece of ruby zoisite. One of those ruby zoisite moons. Here is another piece of photo manipulated art. If I'm boring you, let me know. But if you are enjoying seeing the art that I do, oh, here's another version of that piece that I did. Here is my logo. The truth is where you find it. Oops. See if I can get it. The truth is where you find it. All in purple. Here is my photo manipulation Bigfoot. Bigfoot in Ohio. Yep. Here is a real sky picture right near my home. I just thought it was really interesting how this looks like a great big hand. To me, it kind of looks like somebody just made a handprint on the sky. Oh, you like the Sasquatchy one? The Sasquatch? Yeah. So if any of these appeal to you, let me know. Then this is a picture near my home. This is right near here. And the sky and everything. We have been getting lovely skies. And oh, a picture of one of those triangle clouds that I talk about all the time. Triangle shaped clouds, and maybe there may be more hiding in the clouds than just triangles. I have some pictures where they're just triangles, clouds all over the place. Why would they be in triangles? When I was a kid, we didn't see this. Yeah, it looks like a giant hand of God or something. Oh yeah, sunglasses on the lizard dude, on the reptilian guy. Yeah. And then more pictures of where I live. This is pretty much where I live. We have, like I said, since I moved out to the country, we have beautiful sunsets, and I enjoy them. Now, some people can see it, some people can't. There are the shadows of Bigfoot in the trees. And one of my psychic friends noticed this shot. This is near the tree that I talked about the one time that had the branch sticking in it, and near where the possible footprint was. And if you look at it, the shadows look like Sasquatch in here. She saw several of them, and I do too. It's kind of hard to see on camera here, but if they were undercover, yeah, they might still cast a shadow. We're thinking that's exactly what was going on. They were right there. They just weren't, they were just hidden. And you can only, and they just looks like shadows in the trees. And I might call it that, shadows in the trees. Here is the Great Seal of Egypt. And some people have found that Greys don't like to be around this symbol. They have some kind of respect for it. So um, if you need one, I'm going to have these made, and you can get a hold of them and put them around your place, and hopefully not have to worry about Greys anymore. Because, hey, Barry, how you doing? Yeah, you see the Bigfoot? Yeah, there's 3, 4. I actually think I found a total of 5, but then again, you have to look at the actual photo instead of, it's really hard to show you here, but I think I found 5 in total in this picture. But one great big one there up in the tree that where they gave me the sign, and then another couple over there, and they're big. Look how big they are. My God, they're huge. Jeez. So anyway, Great Seal of Egypt, the colorful one, and I have one that's not quite as colorful as that. That's a little more subdued if you want that. Here's another picture of our skies, colorful skies. Here is also a picture I took. Yolanda says the pictures I take are every bit as good as my art, and I should be selling my pictures too. I should be, selling prints of my pictures because they're basically something you'd find in a magazine. Yep. Yeah, the one up in the tree looks like he would be huge, freaking huge. I don't know how he's not breaking the tree, but we know that they seem to defy the laws of gravity and whatever else. I mean, they somehow know how to do these things. I mean, you know, that looked at the time just like trees. And then you look at it again and you're going, those shadows look very suspicious. you know, it's weird that how they can do that, but probably the same kind of thing. I mean, and we're getting the same kind of thing in the skies though with those. We're just deceived all over the place. Magda scene. Oh, here's that kitty cat picture I showed you. And yeah, I had some pictures made. Here's me. You want something to throw darts at? Boy, that, I don't know how flattering it is, but I did one picture of me. I'll sign it and autograph it. Here's another picture of me from my Abby that I use. Oh, here's a picture of me in one of my purple hair. Yeah, your Bigfoot totem is for you. Oh, and here is, I call this one Cat Like an Egyptian. Looks like he's doing the Egyptian walk. This cowboy. That was just a personal picture that I wanted. And some more art. This is actually one done by a friend of mine. It's a cityscape that also looks a bit like a melted city. And the funny thing about this one is he really drew it this way. Looks like a melted city. This is him This is my friend Jason. This is a self-portrait he did while he was on a shamanic retreat. Okay, so he's an artist too. He also did this one. So I have a couple by him. Then I have some of me in my white hat. Gangsta shaman. Here's what Maui looked like before she passed. These are mostly personal. This is me about 5 years ago with my cat ears. And from that, I did some photo manipulation. And I did this one. And I made a canvas of this one. Well, thank you. Yeah, this is me about 5 years ago with my blonde hair. Here's another picture of me with my purplish hair. And me as a blonde again, another blonde one of me. And one of me hanging upside down from my toes like a bat. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, there it is, right side up. That's me this year, actually, earlier this year. Just depends on how the light hits me. I've found that lighting does a lot, really. It can make you look a lot older or a lot younger, let me tell you. But yeah, that wasn't that long ago. Here is my spoiled little boy cat, Cowboy the Manx, with no tail. He has no tail. And here is my spoiled little boy cat getting a belly rub and going into another dimension, I think. And he will let you do that all day. And here's another version of this when the sun was still mostly up. I think I love this one. Really, it reminds me of my place, and it's good for this season. Here's a beautiful picture of the moon, and it's hard to get a pic. You guys know it's really hard to get a decent picture of the moon. It really is. You can end up with just like a speck. It looks like a speck. But I did manage to actually get where you can actually see a little bit of detail on the moon, but not much. But, you know. So, yeah, and then this one turned out real cool. You can see the part of the moon that's not, you can see where the shadow of it is in this one. This is over our place. So I'm really proud of myself for getting some of these. This is photo manipulation. I worked with some trees, a picture of some trees out in the back. Okay, the Great Seal of Egypt. Here's the one that I said was a little less wild looking. And one that looks like it belongs for the motorcycle crowd, right? Looks like it would look good on a black t-shirt, I think. Here's a picture of me. Here's a picture I've used on the show before of the dolphins. It's photo manipulation. So all of these things were, but I can make it look darn real. Oh, here's a photobombing dolphin. I think I make them look pretty good. Because one of my friends said, "How did you get a picture underwater of dolphins?" It's like, well, I didn't really. Mama D on a hunt for a man. Grisabella. Grisabella. Which one? The moon senses that she's being photographed. Oh, motorcycle gang look. Ah, yeah, this is also our place. So it's real picturesque. Here's Super Kitten. And here is photo manipulation again. And I can do things like that all day and be really happy doing it. I hope to get a job at some point getting it. That would be nice to get work doing photo manipulation because I'm dang good at it, really. Here's some more of the photo manipulation I do, going through seasons and stuff. And these are pictures of trees, real pictures, real photos of trees, and I just added to them that I took myself, and I just added things. And change the way, change the style a little bit. And I'm going to get coasters made of 3 of these. The coasters are kind of expensive though, but I got a deal on to get 4 coasters, so I'm trying to figure out which 4 coasters I want. If anybody wants me to send something where you can get free prints of stuff every month for just shipping and handling, let me know. I will gladly send you that link because I am really enjoying all of these pictures that you see that I have here were free this month for only shipping and handling. So if you want me to send you that link, please let me know. Yeah, getting the light right. Oh, that can be so. Khalil, the Kryptonian cat. Yeah, a calendar. Yeah. Here's another. This is a photograph. I really, I look at it through a camera lens. I was thinking, if this was somebody else, if I was looking at this and this was somebody else, I'd be impressed, I think, at, at some of this here. Yeah. And then here I showed you, but I had pictures made of it. Some of my weirder art. Oh, here's one of my little creepy crawly things. Creepy crawly ocean life or alien ocean life. I don't know what it is. It's just something that was in my head that I had to get out of my head. And another piece of photo manipulation. So I forget what they call that. A try something. Anyway. So my photo collection so far. You're thinking a catalog, a calendar. How about a photo book? Because you know what? I have an app that also will give you a free photo book, one free photo book a month. And it's a really nice app. Like I said, if you want me to send you the link, please do let me know because I think it's a really worthwhile thing. I mean, I got like 85 prints made for something like $10, which I can't really complain. And they're nice. I mean, they're really nice. But you can only get this size, which is a 4x6, 6x4, something or other. So there are limitations, but I think it's worthwhile. Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to get the light just right on things, and you have to be patient. And sometimes I have to actually ask for it. This is a funny thing that I do, and I can do, and it usually works. Is I ask I know how this is going to sound. One day, though, I'll go out. I'll go out and see if I can prove this to you, if they'll do it when somebody's looking. But I'll go out and I'll say, okay, show me something beautiful. I'm going to take some pictures. Show me something beautiful. And the sky will just light up in beautiful colors, or something interesting will show up every time. Every time I say, show me something beautiful. Yeah, poster size would be big, would be expensive, kind of expensive. But I can find out what poster size would be, but then I'd have to charge like more than poster size. I mean, I'd have to charge more than that in order to make any kind of profit on it. So I don't know what exactly good it would do. But I might, there are places like, if I can get back into that, there are places where you can sell these things that um, will drop ship, and you don't pay for it until somebody buys it, and then they take a portion out and you get a portion, which is what I may end up trying to do again. But when things went south for me, I had a shop like that once. But when things went south, it really screwed that up for me. And now I can't even get it back into that account. I'd have to make a whole new account with them. So, black and white. Oh, yeah, angelic music. Oh, oh. And the skies suddenly turn these beautiful colors. And yeah, it's really weird. And sometimes I swear, there have been times when it looks like I see the eye of Ra, or the eye of Horus up there, rather. And the clouds just kind of swirl around, and it looks like an eye and an eyebrow, like the eye of Horus or something. And I'm like, whoa, that's weird. It really is kind of weird. Yeah, I should do some black and white. I could do some black and white art too. I mean, pit photos. Um, yeah, since I'm really good with lighting. Somehow I have an eye for lighting. That's another thing, is when you're doing photography and for composition, I don't have to think about the composition. I just move it around and say, oh yeah, that's nice right there. And, click, and it turns out to be something people like. So I'm really, I guess, well, but my whole soul is really about the arts. It really is. It has always been music, art, and all of the stuff that goes with that, you know, um, and all kinds of arts. I mean, wait until I show you my leather work and stuff. You haven't hardly seen any of that, but you're going to wonder how I did that too, out of leather. You're going to go, how in the heck did you make that? Because everybody does. How in the heck did you make that out of leather? Well, there's a process to it. Yeah. And I used to do sculptures too, and all kinds of things. I've done all kinds of things. And yeah, I think I forget what they call it, but it's where you make the shapes and you stuff them and they turn out 3D. Um, I can't think of what they call that now. But yeah, I used to make a lot of that kind of stuff too. And I know this one woman got me started. The way I got started on that is this one woman saw that I could sew, and she said, my son is an only child and he's afraid to be alone, and I want him to have some kind of a doll, but I want it to be a male looking doll. I don't want it to be like a fruity thing. I want him to have some kind of a toy. And I thought, he likes aliens. Maybe if you could make some little alien soft sculpture. That's what they call it, soft sculpture. And I did, and it turned out really well. It turned out really cool. This blue, sort of almost like a blue, half monkey, half alien character, and he really loved it. Oh, and and happy little trees, Bob Ross. Ah, you guys are great. You know, I miss you guys so much. And lately, I don't know what the heck has been going on, but it seems like anymore when the sun sets, I want to set too. I will, if I'm not careful, I will fall asleep even just sitting on the freaking couch. And even if I'm talking on the phone, I'll start falling asleep. And I'm like, oh no, and then I wake up in the middle of the night and it's like 1 a.m. and everything's over, you know. So all I need is an afro. You know what is really scary about that? My ex-husband looked a lot like Bob Ross when his mother got him. His mother, he had basically wavy hair, wavy dark hair, but his mother liked to see him in an afro. So she would pay to have him get an afro done. And when he did, he looked like freaking Bob Ross. A lot. Not exactly, but enough that you'd go, Bob Ross? At first. And it drove me crazy because I didn't think he looked that great in an afro, really. I didn't think it was his best look, but his mommy liked it. So, she paid for it. She liked it. Bunny, you're allowed to come in and smoke. I don't care. I can't smell it from. Wait a minute. Is that what I'm smelling over here? Oh, Richard Simmons? Sometimes he looked like that too. He was actually into martial arts, and there were times when, yeah, you might say Richards. And I know I thought of that too. Is like, thank you. Yeah, the seashells, the she sells. She sells seashells by the seashore. Seashore. Remember that? I really like the squids. I don't know what it is about the squids, but then the eyes have it too. I mean, to have, your decorations staring at you is always fun, right? For some reason, I don't quite have the same depth with the blue ones as I've got with the. So, Bunny, yeah, you missed the. You're gonna have to scroll back to see. I showed some of my other art, and eventually, like I said, I'm going to. Well, I know your Circle K. Yeah, she changed it to Bunny, so okay, for whatever reason. Maybe quick like a bunny. I don't know. But it does have a little more character than Circle K. I mean, Circle K being a, establishment, not a person, but yeah, everybody likes the octopus. I wonder about that too. That thing, that guy right there. This or maybe lady. Um, I should probably make a lot of those, huh? People like this particular one. Yeah, well, and the ones that I like a lot too are the Minoan looking ones. This looks like Minoan art a lot, is inspired by Minoan art. I kind of like them too. But yeah, my favorite's probably still these ones. I don't know even what they are. But I've always wanted to be bunny. Yeah, Bunny is a much cuter name. Circle K is not very personal, is it? I was thinking of that. I draw a lot of aliens. That I should maybe put them on the shelves. You're right. You're right, Lewis. You're absolutely right. And you guys are really pricing my work a lot higher than I would, and I'm honored that you think that much of me, of what I'm doing. Well, it's when I set your ringtone, wow, I feel good. I feel good like I knew that I would, yeah. I feel good. We got to do some more singing and stuff. I'm hoping to have a Samhain ceremony stream, and I hope that really works out. That would be nice. Bada bada ba, bada ba. Bum 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 bum. I feel good. Yeah, the one that resemble lightning are cool too. Lightning. Yeah, I do. I love lightning. I love watching it. I really get excited. In fact, when I have a significant other, I'm all over them during lightning storms. I'm like, ooh, okay. You might go trick or treating. Ooh, Lewis, what are you going to be? What kind of tricks and what kind of treats? Oh my goodness. Yeah, you know what? I don't always feel like showing my face. I don't always feel like dressing up, and a lot of times I don't. In fact, I don't feel I look that great some days, and I don't, you know, um and but I have so many interesting things to look at around here that I'm sure I could focus on almost anywhere in my place, and you would find something interesting to look at. I have, all of these different crystals and stones and plants and my beautiful red shamrocks that you can't see them very well right now, though they're all closed up because it's night, but and geodes and just all kinds of artsy stuff lying around that I can't. I mean, and this isn't even I have to get this organized because that's some of my stuff there. And I haven't even had a chance to organize that, but I have a lot of really unusual stuff. Why? Because I go to thrift stores. I can't keep myself out of the thrift stores for very long. Oh, that's nice. Scare zones and trick or treating. I used to go to those things. There was one dude in a Playboy bunny outfit, and I'm feeling it too. Just like walking around the neighborhood. Oh, cool. Yeah, we have here what we have is known as the Kent Walk, and it's the adult portion of Halloween. And that'll probably be this weekend, in fact. Everybody dresses up and just prowls the streets of Kent. And by the end of the night, it gets pretty weird. Oh, the Thriller dance for Halloween. Yeah. Yeah, I can't walk. Maybe I don't know. If I get there early enough that you can actually see it, I may do a stream from the Kent Walk. That would be fun to do. Dogman doing this. uh, yeah, that would be pretty funny. Krampus, yeah. Um, Oddmall did a show where they had Krampus show up. It was a Christmas show, and they had Krampus instead of Santa. So yeah, that's funny. Okay, so anyway, what Jim and I were talking about, Jim and and Jim and I, and yeah, about the AI is it's like we're seeing all this AI stuff lately, and it seems like they're fixing to do something with the AIs. And maybe this is partly what it's leading up to. I mean, we know a lot of this is um, has something to do with the whole AI thing. Well, I am not the one who has seen it with my own eyes, but there are people who say they have seen the little tentacled things. Well, I've seen them with my third eye. Yeah. Oh, you got your munchies, huh, Bunny? Yeah, AI taking over some of the jobs. That's what we think, or at least some people have come up with. There is definitely something going on as far as AI. But this is something that to consider. Years ago, there was a writer called Isaac Asimov, and I don't know if you remember him, but he was a really prominent name in science fiction for a long time. And he had, uh, I don't know if you saw I, Robot, but that was a movie. It was based on one of his stories. And he was talking about how, I mean, he came up with the laws of robotics, like the laws you would have to install, the programs you would have to install an AI in order to make it compatible with humans, the laws of robotics. And they still hold today. I will see if I can look that up and read some of that to you of what he wrote about AI. Because if you don't install these programs, you have something that does not have a conscience. And you know what you call a being with no conscience? You call that a psychopath. So, almost by definition, an AI with no guiding principles installed would be a psychopath. And that's just the way it is. I mean, that's what they would be. If you think about it, that's exactly the definition of a psychopath. A person with no inner, what do they call that? No inner guidance, no inner voice to tell them this is wrong, that's wrong. So I did want to mention that apparently in Japan, and I don't have the link to this, apparently in Japan they've already tried out Terminator robots, and they had 4 of them, and immediately they started killing people. Immediately. And one of them they disabled, and it managed to connect with it managed to connect somehow to some kind of database and figured out how to repair itself and repaired itself, and so resurrected itself and started killing them again. And I guess 20 some people died, 24, 28, something like that. And then some reports say 40 some people actually died in the conflict. So they have already tried Terminator robots. And it was a satellite. I'm pretty sure it was a satellite that the one robot connected to, and managed to find out how to repair itself and repair the other ones. If it had been allowed to get out into the wild, it could build as many of these as it would probably wanted to. It would probably find out ways to do that. And there you go, Skynet. And I mean, we already have Skynet. So, it's like, wait a minute. Well, Jim and I both decided if it gets to be Terminator territory or, Night of the Living Dead type stuff, we don't want to be here. Yeah. Yeah, his novels were adapted into movies, and he was real prominent for a while. Oh, the Smurfs. And you know what? There are blue aliens. There are little blue aliens. The AI was talking, octopus AI, yeah. That's why the octopus is such a major thing. There is somebody, right? Don't tell me what to do and don't try to merge with me. It better have manners. Well, that's what the laws of robotics were designed to do, is give them manners. So they're more like C-3PO than they are Terminator. Yeah, because I did want to say, according to, and this you can take with a grain of salt like you do anything, but since I'm a member of their site now, I can find out what the Far Side projects are saying. According to them, they remote viewed Lucifer. And all of the indications by all 4 viewers, viewing it separately, is that Lucifer is a created being that really took it upon himself. He was supposed to be doing a job of balance. He was supposed to be creating balance in the universe so that things wouldn't get stagnant, but he took it way too far. He really went very far with this, like way over the top, and became this way over the top dictatorial type being. So, with a lot of charisma, oddly enough, and many followers, and already has caused wreck and ruin, and supposedly, as far as being out of his clutches, we're 75% clear. But the warning was, because they also got a hold, I guess they remote viewed the being most opposed to Lucifer, which told them that Aziz Brown, that telepathically he told him, of course, that we're about 75% clear. But that doesn't mean we've won yet. We still have a lot of work to do because there have been civilizations that have been over 75% that have still fallen. If things go badly, can still fall. Now we're doing really well, but we can't let up. So in order to get free of this, oh, and by the way, almost all of them were saying, yeah, the lizards, although they are inspired, they're not exactly minions. Most of them are not really minions, but they are inspired by that being, and not all of them. Not all of them mean us harm, but the ones that don't are the ones not ones we have to really worry about. The ones that do. So we still have a lot of work to do, and we still have to keep fighting the fight and getting things to work out for ourselves. I believe the threat that they talk about, there was another channel talking about, I've heard this more than once, that after we get through this part, we have about 100 years of peace. But then another challenge shows up. And I'm wondering if that challenge is the Borg, or the ones that act like the Borg. They're not called that, but because that would be a challenge, all right. Hope we have our guns ready, right? Yeah. Yeah, people who want to weaponize everything. That goes really badly for us. Yeah, I see what I see myself, and I said I would talk about this. We're not the Borg yet. No, we're not the Borg yet. But we could be if we're not careful. You know what, Barry? I hate to say this, but I have to burst this bubble. I have been through the Nibiru thing. Every couple years, Nibiru comes through as, oh, Nibiru. It's like, I've lived through that. I know this sounds really odd, but I have lived through Nibiru coming through every couple years since the 90s. It was the 90s, I think. Yeah. When Nibiru started coming through, and next year, Nibiru. And it's like, after I heard this for like the fifth or sixth or seventh or eighth time, I don't know how many times I've heard it. Nibiru's coming through. And it did, though, for me, in my world, in my reality that I came from, it's already been through here. And it already did stuff, but we got through it. Trying to fix their genetics. Yeah, well, yeah, if they're a branch of us, I think they are the branch that took the jab. Yeah, they might be from the future. They might be the ones that took the jab, became sterile, can't fix their civilization now because they've gone too far down the tubes to be able to come back up again. And they want to latch on to us because we still have souls. They sold their souls literally, I think. I know somebody's playing with time. I will just say it right out. As far as I'm concerned, somebody's playing with time. Yes, time is being played with. And according to the Far Side stuff, to encapsulate it, yeah. Guess who? Lucifer is one of the people playing with time. At least that one is playing with time. There may be more players with time. Maybe more people playing with time. This may be a bigger thing than we know of. Yeah. Yeah, I think really what happened is they sold their souls and they're trying to get them back now by being part of us. By being related to us, they hope to have souls again. I don't know if it'll work. I did. I did. My ex was not the same person. But that was a long time ago. For me, the Mandela effect has been going on for 35 plus years. And one of the first things that changed was my spouse. Yeah, all they can do is create hybrids or star seeds. I think they're trying to get their souls back. And their reproductive, be able to reproduce again. Yeah, the weather affects my dreams too, Bunny. I find that I sleep really well when it rains. A nice rain, and I will have a nice sleep that will put me right to sleep, and then I'll have interesting dreams. But you know what? I don't hardly ever have nice ones. I don't hardly ever have what you'd call really pleasant dreams. I have to do something about that. I don't know. Maybe it's the rhythm. Yeah, sleep listening to ASMR. I ran an ASMR to get to sleep the other night, and I woke up feeling pretty good. I did sleep pretty sound. So I got to say it worked out for me. It was an ASMR video. It was somebody called the ASMR psychologist, in fact. I was thinking, heck, I should make a video like that. I could make a video like that. With the rain sounds and stuff in the background, or maybe a kitty purring. One of my favorite white noises is kitty purrs. When the kitty purrs, I can fall asleep real easy, you know. And I'm lucky because Cowboy, he purrs really loud. Yeah, they still have a sense of humor. Well, if they were us at some point, or as some branch of what we are, or us in another dimension, or whatever, they would have to have a sense of humor, wouldn't they? Because we do. Unless it all just went down, unless that went too. I often say if you lose your sense of humor, you're really lost in this world. You're lost. So, seriously, uh, if you don't have a sense of humor, you really are up the crick. Because as far as that's concerned, I think it's one of I have said, it's one of our best gifts. Oh, that and imagination, our imagination. Those two things we have as really a gift. I mean, if we didn't have those, I don't know what we'd do. I really don't know how we would survive as a species. So, you know. Okay, before the rice gets cold. Yeah, during the Orion Wars. Yeah, the Draconians. Lewis is saying about the Greys had their civilization destroyed during the Orion Wars. Yeah, that would make sense. Okay, Bunny, now you have a good dinner. Dinner is important. I'm going to start doing some more art. So, yep, I think I'm done. That's why I'm showing this blank sheet. I'm going to start making some more art. And I really missed seeing you guys. I'll try and be on more as much as I can, maybe at very odd times. Like I said, when I try to plan it and do it later in the night, I usually fall asleep and don't wake up until 1, which is not the time most of you are going to be up. Mhm. Really, Lewis? Well, that was interesting. Okay, yeah, we've been on for an hour and a half, which is probably good. And thank you for coming, Pam. And thank you all for coming. I really appreciate you being here. I love you guys. I miss you guys when I don't see you. Remember, you are divine, and as that is the truth, and as you accept that, you will realize that you can change anything. We can change anything, and we can do it together for sure. But even you as an individual make a difference. You really do. So please bear in mind that you are divine. And as you say things, it's going to cause things to happen. So be aware of what you say and what you intend. Keep your intentions high. Okay. I love you guys. This is Ocean making waves. And you can go make some too now. And I'll be back with you as soon as I possibly can. And the truth is where you find it. So don't be prejudiced. When I say that and people say, what do you mean the truth is where you find it? Well, we think the truth will be somewhere where we're going, we often think, aha, I will find it here, I will find it there. It's wherever you find it. It may be in the oddest places. You may find truth in places you never dreamed you would find it. So, happy Monday. You too. Okay, hugs. See you next time.